Get ready to experience the truth. Welcome to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Truth Talk Radio is the hit show that will illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. Unleash your intuitive nature while Deb helps you stop looking outside yourself for value and happiness, break through patterns, and move into your authentic truth at lightning speed. Truth Talk Radio will leave you feeling lighter, help you live with more presence, passion, and clarity, and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Now here's your host, Deb Acker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Acker, and you are listening to Truth Talk on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with me for the next hour as I help you experience the truth, nothing but the truth. Each week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll have some of the most gifted, inspiring, and unique souls, speakers, and authors helping to move you into more light, love, and, of course, truth. And before we get started today, I'd like to start out today's show with an intention. And my intention for today's show is that everyone that needs to hear this conversation hears it, and that you leave feeling expansive, inspired, and lit up. And with that, I'd like to welcome Kate Eckman to the show. Kate is an empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and author of the blog Love Yourself, Love Your Life, sharing inspirational stories about self-love, healthy body image, personal growth, beauty, and fitness. She is also a certified Reiki master, QVC on-air beauty host, and Wilhelmina model. And diagnosed with skin cancer on her forehead in her 20s, Kate has worked closely with the American Academy of Dermatology to promote early skin cancer detection and prevention. And she just launched her own skincare line using 100% pure, therapeutic-grade essential oils that not only nourish the skin but also rejuvenate and calm the mind and spirit. Kate attended Penn State University on a swimming scholarship, receiving her degree in advertising and public relations, which is my degree as well. And she went on to earn her master's degree in broadcast journalism from Northwestern University Medill School of Journalism, and worked as a TV news anchor and reporter for nearly a decade. And I want to just share a quick story around the first time that Kate and I talked. So Kate and I had talked with the idea that she was going to be on the show. And actually, when we got on the phone, we just connected instantaneously and literally talked for about an hour. We're basically just touching on the show and mostly just talking like we've known each other forever. So with that, I'd like to welcome Kate to the show. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm great. What a beautiful introduction. And I'm just honored to share this time and space with you. And congratulations on everything that you're doing to bring so much love into light into the world, and to talk honestly and get other people talking honestly. I think it's very transformational. So I'm honored to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah. No, it's so great to have you here today, and I'm just so excited of what's going to unfold in today's conversation. So tell us, how did you get? Obviously, you've had kind of a crazy journey. How did you get on this journey, and how did you get into teaching all about loving yourself and loving your life?
I got into my spiritual journey, I think a way a lot of us do, which is I was brought to my knees through personal trauma, through tragedies in my life, and through placing all of my worth outside of myself. Working as a model, it's all about what you look like and your image, and people hiring you and being able to pay your bills all determine on what you look like and your hip size and your hair color and all these superficial qualities. And I was really wrapped up in that, and thinking that the way to be worthy was by having, success in the material world, and looking a certain way, and all of these things that were actually taught by our society. You need to look this way and have this type of relationship and make this amount of money and drive this car and live in this house. And we're constantly bombarded with images, especially as women, where we're not good enough and how we don't quite add up. And so I was really internalizing a lot of that dialogue. And I had a full-on meltdown, and really had to check myself and really start to look at myself as the person on the inside, and that I'm, a powerful force of love in this world. It's not about my resume and fancy education and degrees and job titles and things like that. And so I really had to change the way I looked at everything. And I'm so much happier as a result. And coupled with that, in the same amount of time, this has all been in the past couple of years, is I lost two very, very dear friends to suicide. And it was like out of the blue and shocking. And again, I hear this often, but in my experience, the last two people I would ever think would take their lives, just the life of the party, gorgeous, talented, successful, lots of friends, close family. And both of them were the people that if you were down, you called them to cheer you up. And so it really opened my eyes and made me look at myself. And I am known as the life of the party, and I'm always happy and laughing and cheering everybody up. And was kind of suppressing my own pain, and because pain is not fun to look at or to deal with. Speaking for myself, it's much more enjoyable to go have a drink or to eat something delicious or to go shopping. Any sort of medication, self-medication to numb ourselves out instead of dealing with the sadness and the pain and the things that are going around. And, this morning in particular, living in New York City and, having bombs going off in my neighborhood and being told to stay inside. And I try not to be caught up in it, but I want to stay informed. And I find myself getting fearful and getting really sad. And in the past, I would say, oh, you're not supposed to be sad or fearful. You're supposed to be happy at all times. And now I say, no, when you look at the news, you should be really sad. That's everything that's right with you. There's nothing. If you're not sad, if you're not disturbed when you watch the news, then we've got a problem here, because it's really sad and really disturbing. So I just really have shifted the way that I look at everything. And I got to this place by being very sad and very lost and confused, despite what I looked like on the outside. It would appear that I have the quote unquote perfect life. And so I'm just here to kind of blow the cover off of that, because my friends who are no longer with us, they had the quote unquote perfect lives from the outside as well. And then people couldn't understand why they chose to leave this earth. But it all kind of makes sense to me now, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I can relate to so many pieces of that story. And really it's like that there's so many of us that feel that need to overachieve. We feel the need, we're seeking that perfection in our life. We're just like going, we keep just going more and more, after this, what you're talking about in terms of like that outer world. And it's when we go inside and we connect to what's really inside, that's where we find the meaning. That's where we can let go, once we're ready to look at it, if and when we're ready to look at it in this lifetime, we can actually let go of that pain, and we can let go of all of the things that, on the outside might appear like, oh yeah, you have the perfect life. But I always say, I'm sure you've heard the quote, we're constantly comparing our insides to everyone else's outsides. And so, yeah, I mean, I absolutely can relate to that. And I lost a friend to suicide as well. And, I mean, it was shocking, because I think it is so common to put forth sort of that, like what you talked about with that happy face. I know, like I just was thinking about this weekend. Like I grew up in a family where, happiness was our way of sort of covering things up. And so, I can absolutely relate. And that was his story too. It's like he used comedy to sort of mask everything. And so you never would have saw it coming from a mile away. And then obviously when that happened, it was shocking and devastating. I mean, I think suicide might be one of the hardest ways to lose someone, because you really do feel completely powerless. Can you speak more to that too?
Yeah, I think, and there's still, my friend Sam, it hasn't even been a year. It was the end of last October, and his friends, especially because again, they're men, and we're talking about men. And, I hate to stereotype and generalize, but I think every man listening right now can probably agree to this. You're taught not to cry, not to show your feelings, in the spirit of quote unquote being a man, suck it up, get it together. And I think of myself, after, when I lost him, and I would walk around Manhattan, like just sobbing because it was just uncontrollable, and I'd have to keep it in, at work. And so when I didn't have to keep it in, it was just flowing out of me. And I thought about it. I'm like, no man would ever walk around 8th Avenue sobbing. Like, no man would be like,
right.
at the store crying, or, I call friends, I call my family, and I'm like, I'm so sad, I'm having a hard time. I talk about it. I mean, this is the work that I do. So I let it all out there. And if someone judges, if someone, can't accept it, I go to the next person, or at least, use my tools that I've learned to cope with it. But all of his friends are still like, I don't understand it. And people are coming up with these conspiracy theories. And I'm like, there's no conspiracy theories. Like, here is a man who was in so much pain, who didn't feel safe to talk about it to any of us, out of the fear of being judged, or, wanting to be a man and appearing to have it all together. And also, I think a lot of us do this. I do. I'm like, well, I'm so grateful. I have so much to be blessed for. I come from a great family. I have so much. What is there to be sad about? And again, it's what I said. Sometimes like life is sad, or sometimes, and I don't want to speak to mental illness because I'm not a doctor, but whether you have mental illness or you don't, I don't have mental illness. And I've been, have definitely battled depression this past year or two, losing these friends. And again, just embracing that as that's what's right with me. If I wasn't really sad and depressed because someone I was in love with for 10 years killed themselves, then I think maybe I need some help. Then
right.
Then I'm so numbed and desensitized that then I think I could really use some help. So, I have really taken it upon myself to make my mission in life to talk about these things. And it's uncomfortable and it isn't sexy. And, people are like, why would you want to get out of the modeling business? You're a model. And I'm like, who am I serving as a model? And what am I doing? And, talking about self-worth and suicide, it's not so sexy. When I was little, I would never say I want to grow up and talk about suicide and help people from killing themselves. But it has become my life purpose. And I'm grateful to these men for that, because they've given me a much greater purpose here on life, and to help people and to talk about these things and let people know, especially younger people. There's so much pressure, and they don't have the skills that, we've gotten as we're older and as we get older. And I want to reach out to them, because it's that feeling of I'm all alone and nobody cares. And I don't want to reach out to so-and-so because I don't want to be a burden. And I've even had people in my life do that, like I'll be really down and I can tell her like, oh, like Kate's usually so fun. She's not really that fun when she's all sad. And you feel that from people. So then you're discouraged from really coming out and talking about what's going on. So yeah, I'm happy to really create the space for anybody, whether we just met or whether we've been friends for years, to like, hey, what's going on with you? I don't want to talk about the superficial stuff. Like, how are you? And really bringing that out, in particular with men, because they are really guarded and are really uncomfortable putting it out there. That I feel they're really scared of being judged, and they don't want to seem weak. And the thing is that when you are vulnerable, that's when you're really strong. And so I think it's changing that messaging, especially to young people and especially to men.
Yeah, well, and I want to talk with you more about this because there's so much there, right? And so we're going to take a quick break here. You are listening to Truth Talk. I'm your host, Deb Acker. When we return, we're going to explore more with Kate, so stay tuned. We will be right back.
Calling all Intuits, healers, and readers, you are invited to the Women of Wisdom Fall Festival. Join us as we celebrate the bounty of our Mother Earth on October 1st at North Seattle Community College. We're looking for a variety of practitioners and experts in the art of energy healings, intuitive readings, and bodywork. If you are a reader, healer, or an artisan selling handmade arts and crafts, we invite you to share your gifts with the Women of Wisdom community. Go to womenofwisdom.org to apply.
Wow. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. I'm telling you, I got to pinch myself some days, because when each of us gets called to do something that we so not thought was in our wheelhouse to do for a purpose that's so much greater than us, we get to show up and shine.
If you would like to show up and shine on the Dr. Pat Show as a co-host or sponsor, Send us an email to inspire@thedrpatshow.com.
Tune in to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthisfunny.com.
Have you felt a lot of fear and self-doubt in your life where you feel like you never know what's right for you? As a result, maybe you've made yourself invisible or haven't fully put yourself out there. Hi, my name is Deb Acker. In addition to being the host of Truth Talk Radio, I'm an intuitive life coach and energy healer. I clear energy blocks to all areas of life, including stepping into your power to be confident and visible in your relationships and the world. Did you know fear, self-doubt, feeling invisible, and not feeling comfortable to put yourself out there are all linked to not being in your power? What if you could always feel powerful and on purpose at all times? I used to spend a lot of time hiding in fear and self-doubt. Now I'm not afraid to put myself out there on a bigger scale, and most importantly, I know what's right for me in every moment, and I take action accordingly. On the other side, I now help others with this, and if you're ready to be powerful and confident and let go of the fear that holds you back from a bigger life, I'd love to gift you with my pattern identification session. Simply contact me on the contact page of my website, DeborahAcker.com. That's DeborahAcker.com. And let me know you heard about this gift through Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to connecting soon.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
We're back on Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. My guest today is Kate Eckman, and we are exploring creating a life from the inside out. Before we continue, Kate, can you give everyone your contact information?
Sure. You can find out more and follow me on social media. It's just kateeckman.tv. So that's KATEECKMAN.tv. And you can find all of my social media there, and would love to connect with you.
Awesome. So before the break, we were really talking about all these appearances and how we can really get caught up in looking outside of ourselves for that value, for that happiness, or just thinking, well, on the outside, I look okay. So like not feeling comfortable to really reach out, not feeling comfortable to really, share what's really going on for us and really share our truths. So tell me, what does success mean to you in your life right now with all of those experiences? What does it mean?
Success to me means waking up each day and going to bed each night, just feeling that sense of joy and feeling at home and at peace with yourself. And people say, okay, great. What does that mean? And for me, that means the recognition and the realization that I don't have to be anybody, have anything, to be worthy, to be loved, to be valuable. And that's true for everybody, because I really feel that's the culture we're living in now, where you have to be the star of some show. You have to look like the supermodels of the cover of the magazines. If you're a man, you have to have all this money, a woman too. But none of that's all crap. It's just this crap that we bought into. And really, you just have to remember, instead of like trying to create, it's just, you really have to do less and remember that you are a powerful force of love in this world. We all are. It's like nobody's special and everybody's special all at once. We're all just equal. And there's such a separation now in our society between us and them, and everyone finger pointing. And so success for me too is really taking, especially recently in the world that we live in, it's just all this hatred and, oh my gosh, and with the politics and with terrorism and everyone's finger pointing. And success to me looks like taking responsibility for our own life. I hate the terrorism. I hate this group. I hate that group. And it's just like, we need to really check ourselves and say, well, how about you hate the hatred that's in your own mind? It's like we're all quick to judge and blame others, but how about addressing the hate that's going on in your own mind, the judgment that's going on in your own mind, the blaming that's going on and your own mind. And that's why one of my favorite sayings is peace begins with me. We all want this peace. We all want this freedom. We all want these things. And the thing is, we have it. It's just we have to remove all the blocks and obstacles that we've created ourselves to having love and peace and freedom and all of these things. So I think that's the best news is we are born that way. It's just that we've let all this stuff get in the way. So for me, the success is just removing the blocks and obstacles that have kept me from love and from feeling peaceful and from feeling free in my life. And just remembering that it's a choice. And when I'm feeling anxious, I say a prayer and I say, like, please take this from me. And I'm willing to change my mind and willing to choose again. I'm like, because I don't pretend to have all the answers or to have it all together. I'm like, you know what? The other day I was like, I am freaking out. I am pissed. I am anxious. And I just like had a moment of surrender, like, please take this from me. And then I gave myself a moment to really feel really angry and annoyed and pissed. And then I said, all right, I'm willing to change my mind. I'm willing to choose, a more peaceful thought. And sometimes that means you just got to take a little time out, an adult time out, and go just recenter yourself and reground yourself.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely so important, especially that piece around it's like choosing love, right? It was so interesting because on social media one day I posted something around choosing love, and somebody I know, I haven't talked to her, connected with her in quite some time, but she posted around, she was like, if you look up the hashtag choose love, you actually see hate. And so I was curious. I was like,
wow,
let me see what that is. And when I looked it up, all I saw was love, right? And so basically, there was maybe one post around hate, but it was in general, it was all about love. And so it kind of, I see everything from sort of that, like kind of where's the humor in this, right? Where's the comedy in in this? And so, what it made me think about was like, we get more of what we focus on. And so my perception and what I'm choosing in the world is love, right? And to focus on that love. And so I put it in, and my vibration, your vibration attracts, what you are. And so my vibration attracted these posts around love, and my friend put it in, and where she is right now, she's probably, the hate comes from pain, right? It's all focused around that, that pain. So it's like in that moment, I had the choice to choose to just see her with compassion, right? Like, and I wasn't going to get in a debate with her, but it was like, I could just hold the little kid that just so desperately doesn't want the hate to be there, right? And is trying to do everything that she knows to eliminate that hate, right? To not to have hate. And so I could just show up from compassion and love, because me fighting her, expressing hate towards her wasn't going to do anything. That was just going to promote, exactly what you're talking about. That was just going to promote the hate. And instead it was like, okay, great. I have a choice here, and I'm just going to like hold her, because she's like, just like a little kid, just like all of us, right? We might be old, in terms of human years, but in terms of like, as a human population, we're actually really, really young. And so I could just hold her and know she's just like a little baby in terms of, if you look at God, universe, however you want to describe source, however you want to describe it, it's like she's really just a child, just like all of us. And I just knew that love was going to change it, not me fighting it. So it was an interesting thing. And my question to you actually is all around, you're talking about appearances, and you're talking about how we can really get, be looking outside of ourselves. What do you recommend when someone's getting caught up in their, in the appearance piece, and what things look like from the outside?
I think there's a few things. One, get off of social media, because that's when I used to, get caught up, or, oh, that person booked that job, or they got that campaign, or they did that, and why didn't I get it? And you're comparing. It's like, is it because she's this or I'm that? And that is like the biggest waste of time, and it's extremely toxic. And so I remove myself a little from social media, or just post the stuff you want, and not have it be all about what you look like. Post some inspirational things. I used to work in the media for 10 years, and people hate the media and complain about the media. But I'm like, we're all the media, whether your job is in news or not. So post something loving and positive and uplifting and inspiring on your Instagram, instead of just hating on what everyone else is doing. I love Marianne Williamson. She's my favorite author and lecturer. And she says, if you're talking about the haters and hating on the haters, you're a hater. And I just love that, because you hear everyone like, oh, she's a hater. I'm like, well, so are you.
Yeah.
So I think it's all going back to checking ourselves, and you're feeling really upset. And so meditation has played a huge role in my life. I know it's not everybody's thing. I wish that it was. I think we live in a much different world. My brother, for example, is a very busy, very successful doctor and father of two. And, he says to me like, oh, I don't have time to meditate. And I'm like, if you don't have 10, 20 minutes to meditate, then you literally have no life. And I call him out on that. And I'm really trying to very kindly inspire him, because it is the people that say they don't have time or don't need it are often the people who need it the most. So I think slowing it down, we're all in such a rush. I mean, me living in New York, it's that crazy energy and we're running around. And so I even challenge myself. I'm like, you're going to walk slowly today in between meetings and notice your surroundings and take it in, and that's especially good to do in nature, not really a city necessarily, but just notice what's going on around you. We're in such a rush and we're so distracted, and we're just on to the next thing. And like, okay, I did this. Now I want to do that. Or it's like, okay, this relationship didn't work out with him. Well, I have to like date immediately. Let me get online and find someone immediately. And my friend said that. I'm like, can you just take a day or a week or month or something to how about just to yourself and get to know yourself and love on yourself, so that you'll attract a different person, instead of just jumping from one person to the next and leaving that relationship with anger and resentment and frustration. You just take that into your next relationship and project it on to the next guy or woman. So it really, again, it's the timeout. It's the doing something to nourish yourself, nutrition, dense food, drinking plenty of fluids. It's all those things we all know, but why is it so hard to do it? Because we don't do it consistently. We have a great healthy green juice yoga weekend, and then we go back Monday and have 15 cups of coffee and yell at our coworker and, scream at the car next to you that cut you off in traffic. And it's just like, it all goes out the window. So I think it's just consistency. And for me personally, it's having a daily spiritual practice with prayer, with meditation, with mindfulness, with, the self-care, with sleep, and with bubble baths, and with journaling, whatever it is that does it for you. But making it a daily thing, because that goes back to the just trusting part-time thing. It's, I'm like, well, I did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like now it's Thursday and Friday, and I'm exhausted and I'm pissed, and I don't want, like, I did so good. Why don't I have everything I want? And it's like, you have to do it every day. We just had the Olympics. It's like the Olympic athletes aren't just training here and there. They're training every day, all day, for years to compete in an event or race that lasts a minute or less.
Yeah, exactly. It's a total dedication, right? And I always say, it's like, you don't have time not to meditate, right? And I do know it's like we do spend all that time covering up those feelings instead of feeling it. And I pose the question, what if actually feeling it will help you not create that experience again? Right. So what if like feeling it is the key to not creating it? And if you keep not pushing it away and not feeling it, that's the key that keeps creating it over and over and over. So I want to talk more with you about that when we come back. You are listening to Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. When we return, we are going to explore more with Kate. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Artie Hoffman is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart and the host of the hit show Angels and Answers. A renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and an entertaining motivational speaker, Artie has helped over 15,000 people with his amazing intuitive gifts, his passion, and his humor. Call 877-ANGEL-02 to schedule a personal reading or to have your own psychic Artie party. That's 877-ANGEL-02. And visit artiehoffman.com and Angels and Answers on Facebook.
Are you anxious, worried, or insecure? Hi, I'm Dr. Friedman Schaub. I'm the author of The Fear and Anxiety Solution. Join me for my next breakthrough video seminar, which starts on September 10th. This program has helped thousands of people worldwide to overcome their struggles with anxiety, and I'm certain it can also help you. If you're ready to be free again and have a stronger foundation of inner peace and confidence, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Are you feeling stagnant or blocked in your love life, career, health, or finances? Experiencing difficulty focusing or setting and achieving goals? Tune in to Spiritual Diagnostics Radio with psychic visionary healers Carol Dorian and Suzanne Evans. Discover the cause and effect of unwanted patterns in life. Tune in every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit spiritualdeed.com.
There are so many resources out there for meditation. But did you know that Atana's Heart Earth Healing Meditation is available for you for free? Yes, that's right. You can receive this free healing meditation today from Atana Badili. All you need to do is visit his website, atanamethod.com. That's ATAANA method.com and sign up. You will receive your free meditation instantly. That's atanamethod.com.
We're back on Truth Talk, and for those just tuning in, I'm here talking with Kate Eckman about really about living a life from the inside out. And Kate, I want to switch gears here for just a little bit because I know you've got a skincare line, and you were diagnosed with skin cancer in your 20s. Tell us about that journey and how that's shifted everything and shaped who you are today.
Well, what a wake-up call to have something on in my case, it was on my forehead. So it's on my face. You know, I was working in front of the camera and TV news and HD cameras, and I just had this red spot on my forehead that I thought was nothing. And I did learn, and for all of you listening, if you have a skin condition, anything that's not going away in about a week, please get it checked out immediately, because I waited and waited. And when you wait and wait, the cancer grows and it can spread to your lymph nodes. In my case, it could have spread to my brain and I would be dead. And I want to make it sound that harsh and brutal because that's what it is. And again, we're all kind of tiptoeing around these things. But I spent a lot of time in the sun, and I even used tanning beds, which is repulsive to think about. But I was just all about being tan when I was younger. And I have very fair skin, and I didn't wear my sunscreen a lot of the times. And took my health for granted and thought I was invincible, which a lot of teenagers and early 20s people do. So have compassion for them. But my brother is a physician, like I said earlier, and discovered it on my forehead when I had no makeup on over the holidays. And I went straight to the dermatologist, and I had a biopsy and had the cancer and had the tumor removed. And the doctor even said, you're lucky you got in here when you did, because it was really close to spreading into your lymph nodes. And then, you can be taken out pretty quickly. So, and again, most people that have my condition, they're in their 60s, and here I was in my 20s. But again, it's wake-up calls, and wake-up calls have been a huge theme in my life. And I just think it's important to not wait until we're, at the emergency room or at the doctor or, somewhere else wanting to cause harm to ourselves or taking our health for granted. And so I've just done a lot of being the reporter. I've done a lot of research and just found that so many of my favorite products have so many chemicals in them. And so again, it gets not just to your skin, but into your system and into your nervous system. And so I really wanted to protect the integrity of my skin and my health. And I've created an all natural essential oil skincare line. And it's also aromatherapy. So, I'm using pure rose oil, which it is the most uplifting fragrance that you could possibly imagine. And so it really helps your mind. It helps your spirit. It makes your skin glow, gives you that luminous complexion, and it's all natural. So it's like your skin just drinking, the most natural, organic green juice, for example. And so I wanted to do that for everybody, just as a way to treat your skin and uplift your spirit, and just, again, feel good from the inside out. That's kind of my message too, is everything. It's from the inside out, not like, oh, I'll get everything on the outside and then I'll feel better. It's like, no, you really got to feel great on the inside, and then your outside world will reflect that.
Well, and really just sounds like it's so interesting, right? Because you've got all these pieces that are like, okay, like here's how this pattern is going to be reflected in this area. Here's how this pattern is going to be reflected in this area, in terms of really going inside versus looking to the outside world. So why do you think that following your passion has been one of the best decisions that you've made?
I just think because, I hate to even say life is short, but life for sure is precious. And I've been shown that again and again, and also realizing tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I think we all are guilty of taking our lives for granted and just assuming that tomorrow we're going to wake up and go about our day and everything's just going to be great. And I think we've been shown that that isn't always the case. So I just have so much appreciation and gratitude for every day. And it's like, I wake up in the morning, my feet hit the ground. I'm like, it's a good day. And not because I have this job, or I'm making this money, or this friend is coming to visit, or I'm having this for breakfast. It really is just that appreciation that every day is a good day. And so for me, following my passion, again, I've been led, and it's like, I can't not talk about these things and have these conversations, because it's my favorite thing to talk about. I absolutely love talking about what makes people happy. Or I see so many people who hate their jobs. I'm like, well, what are you really passionate about? I'll say it to this photographer I was working with, and it took him a second, and then he just lit up. He said, oh my gosh, I would love to open my own like no-kill animal shelter. I love dogs. I have 3 rescue dogs at home. And he lit up. And so even sometimes I think we're in these careers, like when I was a TV news anchor and reporter, it's like, oh, this is my dream job, or modeling, like, oh yeah, my dream job, but I wasn't happy. And so I find that when you're doing something in service of others, like the guy that wanted to do the animal shelter, it's like, because he's helping dogs, he loves dogs, and he's helping keep dogs alive and keep them safe and healthy. And so I find that for me, my passion it's helping others and having these conversations and just kind of lifting people to a new and improved way of thinking, because it's nuts out there right now. And people, I even have people like, well, I don't know about doing this because there's already some other people doing it. And it's, it's in like the spiritual world, or, coaching or writing or speaking. And I'm like, are you looking at what's going on around us? Like we could have everyone could be a life coach. We need everyone to be a motivational speaker. And it's like the world needs us, whatever your job is. Maybe your passion's the arts. Maybe it's, it's law, whatever, it's being a doctor, whatever it is. The point is that please do that, because the world needs you. Like we need you, people. It's rough out there. I don't even want to focus on that, but, I think it's pretty obvious that the world could use more happy people.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. And I think it's just really, really common that, we think, oh, well, I had that as a pattern years ago. I remember when I was first getting into this, or I get like really caught up, like you're talking about social media and getting caught up in that comparing, or like going like, oh, she's way more successful than me, and we do go into that space. And first of all, to tell everybody out there, you have your own special gift. So even though you might be a life coach and there's a gazillion other life coaches out there, like you have your own special gift, your own special unique way, your own special unique flavor that you're meant to put out in the world that's completely different from another life coach. That, I was talking to a family friend this weekend, and she was like, Deb, she's like, because I forgot even the context of what we were talking about, but she was like, she was like, Deb, not everybody has this gift to be so intuitive. Well, actually what I was talking about was when somebody talks to me, so many times what I feel is the energy underneath what they say. And so it was a huge awareness for me. Like, I know I've been doing that for a long time, but like it was a huge awareness for me because about a week ago is when I realized, oh my God, I just experienced that from her energy. I didn't experience that from what she actually said to me. She said in her words, she said, okay, that's fine. And what I translated it to was, she doesn't want to do that. And I was like, how did I get from there to what actually was what I actually felt? And I realized and it was a really important realization for me, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm having I'm constantly having that experience from somebody's energetic state. And so I realized for my whole life that I've been doing this because, like, I would be like, I would take something so personally, and it was because I was feeling what was underneath what was underneath what someone was saying. And so it was like such a powerful aha. But point being is that for me, like, I experience things through energy. And so one of the gifts that I bring into my energy clearing sessions, like I say life coaches because people more understand that box, they get it. But one of the gifts I bring is like, really, I'm an energy healer. And one of the gifts I bring is like I can see energy like, no other person on the planet. And every single person has their version of that. And it's really important that you really lean into that and start to embrace it, as opposed to going, well, because there's another life coach in my city, in my area, on this planet, that I'm not enough. Right. And it's interesting because I'm doing a worthiness call, like clearing, your pattern of not feeling good enough. And this is actually a really great pattern to bring up on that call, because it's like, how many times we're like, okay, well, like, I'm not good. We do go into that comparing. We go, okay, I'm not good enough to be doing this, or I'm not enough to be, who am I to kind of stand up and stand in my truth and own who I am as a life coach. Mm-hmm. And so, like, for instance, and so tell me, as you're moving on this journey, what are you most excited about in your career and in your life?
Well, even just to go back to what you were saying, for me, it's like, well, who are you not to do it? Again, we give ourselves such little credit. We pretend we're just these little, I'm like, we are like created, and whether you believe in God or not, but we're created by source or spirit or the universe, something so magnificent and powerful. And then we diminish our worth when it's insulting to our creator. Again, whatever you believe in. And so it's kind of like when people say, well, who do you think you are? It's like, I'm a powerful force of love in this world. Like, that's who I am. So I think it's just, again, instead of like, well, I don't have this or I don't have that. It's like, again, going back to what you were born with and the gifts that you do have. So for me, to answer your question, I'm just excited about having more conversations like this and getting more people on board with their power and their magnificence and their own special gifts that nobody else has, and to really focus on that.
Yeah, no, that's super, super beautiful. And so it's funny because there were so many patterns we brought up today that I really want to clear. And so before we take our final break though, Kate, can you give the listeners your contact information one more time?
Sure. If you want to email me, it's Kate, Kate, at Kate Eckman. That's KateEckman. .tv, and then you can find me at Kate Eckman on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those things. It's all on my website, kateeckman.tv. I would love to connect with all of you and have some more conversations like this one.
Beautiful, beautiful. So in today's final segment, like I said, we brought up so many patterns. I want to go right into our energy clearing, because there's just so many things, and I really want people stepping into their truth and stepping into, like Kate was saying, the powerful being that we all, the powerful being that we each came here to be. And so with that, what I'm going to have you do, and for those of you guys who are new to energy clearing, what I'm going to have you do is I'll connect you to the light, and I'm going to walk you through this step by step, but we're going to bring light through each part of your body. And really, I connect someone to the light because the light is the truth of who we are. It's the truth of who we came here to be. And it is the quickest way for us to change something that's not working for us. So I'll connect you to the light, and then I'll have you expand that out 5 feet, 10 feet, all the way out to the entire universe. And connecting to that universe is really a powerful way for us to again, remember how powerful we truly are, and remember that how expansive we truly are, and that we are an infinite being in a body. And so with that, go ahead and place your feet nice and flat on the floor. And closing your eyes, except for if you're driving or operating heavy machinery, do not close your eyes. But for everybody else, closing your eyes and just taking a nice deep breath, just breathing in through your nose and just filling your belly, the sides of the body, the chest, and the legs with air. And just exhaling out nice and slow. And again, just breathing in through your nose and just filling your belly, the sides of the body, the chest, and the legs with air. And just exhaling out nice and slow. And just connecting to the light that's 300 feet above your head. And we naturally do this when we pray, so just see, sense, or feel that light, whatever comes up for you naturally. And just allowing this liquid light to come down in through your forehead, down past your eyes, so you can really see the truth and see the truth of who you are and the truth of who you came here to be. And bringing that liquid light down past your nose, past your ears, so you can really hear your truth and hear the truth of who you are and the truth of who you came here to be. And moving that liquid light down past your mouth and into your throat so you can really speak your truth and speak out who you are and who you came here to be. And moving that liquid light across your shoulders and down past your heart so you can really feel the truth and feel the truth of who you are and the truth of who you came here to be. And moving that liquid light down into your stomach, into your hips, so you can stand in, ground, and create your truth and the truth of who you are and the truth of who you came here to be. And moving that liquid light down into your legs and out through your feet so you can move towards your truth and move towards the truth of who you are and the truth of who you came here to be. And just connecting into the center of the earth that feels like mother's love. It's all ooey and gooey and warm and nurturing. And allowing that liquid light to come back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso, and up through your face. And again, just a liquid light shower just coming down into your face, down across your shoulders, down your torso, down your hips, down your legs, and out through your feet, and back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso, and up through your face. And just expanding that light from above and below. Go ahead and expand that light into the room that you're in. So just allowing your shoulders to come back and just open, expanding, and breathing. And seeing that light covering the entire building that you're in, wherever you are located, allowing that liquid light to cover the entire building. Again, just open, expanding, and breathing. Chest is wide, shoulders are back. And just covering the entire city that you're in, wherever you are located, just open, expanding, and breathing. And open, expanding, and breathing. And open, expanding, and breathing. And just allowing that liquid light to cover the entire state or country that you're in. Again, wherever you are located, just open, expanding, and breathing, and open, expanding, and breathing, and open, expanding, and breathing. And just allowing that liquid light to cover the entire state or country that you're in, wherever you are. And now allowing that liquid light to cover the entire continent. So just see it covering the entire continent. Just open, expanding, and breathing. And open, expanding, and breathing, and open, expanding, and breathing, and just allowing that liquid light to cover out the entire world. So just expanding across the entire globe, across the entire world, just open, expanding, and breathing. Good. Open, expanding, and breathing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and just open, expanding, and breathing. And now expanding that liquid light out past the entire universe, past all the planets, just open, expanding, and breathing. And open, expanding, and breathing, bigger and bigger and bigger, and just open, expanding, and breathing. And now just so everywhere that you are looking outside of yourself, I want you to see that coming out of your body, and I want you to breathe in enough, breathe in you, breathe in worth, breathe in enough, breathe in self-value, breathe in self-worth, and breathe in you, and breathe in enough, breathe in self-value, breathe in worth, breathe in you, and just filling yourself up with you and filling yourself up with more of you. And everywhere in some way you are concerned about appearances, you're concerned about what others think, just exhaling that out of the body and just breathing in good enough, just breathing in the feeling of good enough, breathing in the feeling of being enough, breathing in good enough, breathing in the feeling of being enough, breathing in good enough, breathing in the feeling of enough, and just everywhere that you are wanting to do versus be. And just everywhere you're not allowing yourself, you're not trusting, you're not allowing yourself just to be and just to be who you are and standing in the truth of who you are, just exhaling that out of your body and breathing in trust, breathing in truth, breathing in you, breathing in being, breathing in trust, breathing in truth, breathing in you, breathing in being, breathing in trust, breathing in truth, breathing in you, breathing in being. And everywhere you are defining yourself by your achievements. So everywhere in some way you are defining yourself by your achievements, just exhaling those out of your body and just breathing in you, breathing in worth, breathing in being enough, breathing in you, breathing in worth, breathing in being enough, breathing in that calm and that peace that you feel when you know that you're enough, right? When you know you don't need to keep doing to prove that you are enough, and you just know that you are enough. And just everywhere that you feel that you need to have like this perfect life, right? So everywhere you're focused on that perfection, just exhaling that perfection, that perfectionism out of your body. And again, just breathing in this enough, breathing in you, breathing in enough, breathing in you, breathing in feeling enough, breathing in good, being good enough, and breathing in you. And everywhere in some way you are getting caught up in appearances, everywhere in some way that you're comparing yourself to others, right? And using that as an excuse to not take action forward, using that as an excuse to not move forward, using that as an excuse not to put yourself out there. Just exhaling that out of your body and just breathing in being enough, breathing in worth, breathing in self-value, and breathing in being enough, breathing in worth, breathing in self-value, and just breathing in the calm and the peace and the presence that you feel when you are enough, right? When you are in that space of everything is happening exactly as it should be, everything is happening exactly as I want it to be. And everywhere you're not in some way standing in your power, standing in your truth, and in some way because of that you're diminishing your own worth, just exhaling that out and just breathing in truth, breathing in enough, breathing in power, breathing in worth, and breathing in truth, breathing in enough, breathing in power, and breathing in worth, and breathing in truth, breathing in enough, breathing in power, breathing in worth, and breathing in truth, breathing in light, breathing in power, breathing in worth. One more time, just breathing in truth, breathing in light, breathing in power, and breathing in worth. Last time, breathing in truth, breathing in power, breathing in worth, and breathing in light. And just filling yourself up with all this light and filling yourself up with all this power. Just really allowing yourself to open, expand, and breathe into that power. And just placing your feet nice and flat on the floor, just feeling your feet on the ground, and feeling your body wherever you are sitting, and just taking a nice deep breath and just coming back into the room. And just noticing how you're feeling right now, what may have shifted for you in this conversation, in this activation. Just taking that in, taking in how far you've come, and taking in how you truly are enough. And so with that, I want to thank my guest today, Kate Eckman, for sharing such great information. And I want to thank you all for tuning into Truth Talk. I always love hearing from my audience. So if you have a comment on the show or would like to introduce yourself, you can send me a note on the contact page of my website at deboraacker.com. That's DeborahAcker.com. And there you can also sign up for my complimentary pattern identifying discovery session, as well as my free Living in Your Truth guide. And next week on Truth Talk, we'll be having intuitive Caitlin Edgar. So in the meantime, I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to talking with you next time.
Thank you for listening to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Tune into Truth Talk Radio every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com and experience the truth of who you are and who you came here to be. Each week, Deb interviews an inspiring guest and illuminates the truth to a wide range of topics, including love, life, purpose, career, consciousness, and abundance. Welcome to the world of infinite possibilities. For more information about Deb, including how to contact or work with her, visit truthtalkradioshow.com. Look forward to seeing you next week for more Truth Talk Radio.